I literally just came up with this roughly slightly more than 1.5 hours ago. So, I don't know what got me, like, I literally got an inspiration, right? I literally got a divine epiphany, right? I got this inspiration that, what if I made this channel, and this channel will exclusively be a guide, a gacha guide channel. And I just so happen to have this other previous channel, which did amazingly well, by the way. Some of you guys might know this channel going by the name of MrPokke, right? So I was thinking to myself, like, MrPokke technically didn't really post too much, but like the core structure of MrPokke was essentially centered around like guides, right? It is essentially guide content for back then Musume. So like, what if I just repackage this? Because it really is like a waste to like let this channel die. It has almost like, I think like more than 10,000 subscribers. So what if I just revive MrPokke as like MrPokke 2.0? Yo, it's so, I think it's someone in the comments, right? So this is my cook where I will, okay, I think the name is still pending, but we can call it like Pokke Corp. So what Pokke Corp might be is this channel, by cooking exclusive guide content, we'll have a group of guide makers. We'll have a group, yo, Ruba, thank you so much, 35 months, right? We'll have a group of guide makers that will, they don't have to actually make a video, because I think, you know, most guide makers that are doing offline guide makers, they probably don't really know how to like cook up the B-rolls and how to video, so they can cook up the script. So that, for example, right now, for all of the HSR early access, like every single one of those like dedicated guides in HSR, or like back then when I was doing Zenless Zone 0, every single one of these guides, you need to like test the game, right? You need to cook up a script, you need to get the B-rolls, you need to get so like, it easily takes me like anywhere between like 2 to 3 days, or sometimes for Saivini, that shit took me 1 week, right? So what if I just have this group of guide makers, and it's not just for like, let's just say Uma Musume, or for like Chaos Zero Nightmare, but for like literally every possible gacha game that we could get our hands on. So like, it could be for this case CZN, right? It could be for CZN. It could be Uma Musume if there's a Uma Musume guide maker. It could be for where winds meet, right? It could be for upcoming gacha games like Enfield, right? Enfield they have the blueprint. It could be for NTE. It could be for Azure Premier. It could be for all these gacha games. It could be for Genshin Impact. Right, it could be for Gacha Impact, it could be for Zenless Zone 0, it could be for Wuthering, it could be for anything, right? But as long as like this group of guide makers, right, they're there, they cook up the script, and then your streamer will essentially execute on the script, right? So I will deliver. It's a little bit like okay, you know VTubing agencies? So that you have all these VTubers, right? So one by one, they're all VTubers, but there's the agency behind all these VTubers that essentially give them like the resources needed to carry out their VTubing activities. So MrPokke will be the agency, right? So I will be like Pokke Life, right? So all these little guide makers, they will be like individual VTubers. So they will get the scripts, they'll cook the game, they'll get the B-rolls, they'll get everything. So once it's done, then Pokke Life will hop in. I will yap about the script, I will explain the gameplay, and then we'll get ourselves our lovely... I think Iru is honestly just overworked, so maybe we might even need a brand new editor to cook on this channel, and that will be the beginning of Pokke Corp. So my thought process of what happened is it really just came like, it's so out of the blue. It was like one man's content, right? Like MrPokke, right? Is it, you know, like Batman, Patrick Bateman, or Bruce Wayne, or whatever it's gonna be, right? They are essentially just one man, and at some point, that one man, that one guy, is gonna die. All right, but what Batman can represent, what the ideology of Pokke Corp could represent, this is the one that will transcend Batman. So eventually, if let's just say I move on and like, you know, it is what it is, GG07, I can pass on Pokke Corp to another wielder. You know, like how All Might gave One for All to Midoriya Shonen. I could give this on to more and more. I could even give it to Genshin guy. You know what I'm saying? And like this is sort of like what I want to try to leave behind, because I think 2025 going into 2026, I want to try something that will really push me out of my comfort zone. Because the last time I had an epiphany like this, right? It was probably when HSR first started. So that is sort of like my backbones of how this Pokke Corp is gonna be. And I think the thing that will tie everything together is gonna be this. So I'm gonna hit up a couple of my VTuber contacts so you can see how big what the VTubers are. We'll see how this is gonna be going. So it will be low-key a little bit like you don't need to see my face anymore, but like what the content itself is trying to present. A little bit like, you know, okay, check, do you guys watch Factual Life? Like from Elden Ring and all that kind of stuff, right? So like Factual Life, he doesn't really show his face, but he just makes like guides for like all sorts of games, right? He makes guides for like Elden Ring, he makes a so like this could be like the gacha Factual Life. It is sort of like what I'm going with. And then the Aboba VTuber model, it will be like the constant. Yep, it will be the constant, it will be the Dekai, it will be exceptional, and that will transcend one man, one guy's branding. So that is sort of why I'm gonna be taking it. I will probably need to essentially bring this to phase 2, and that is the hiring process. I DM Brett's to essentially, if you guys are interested, because I already have a couple of people, right? If you guys are interested in cooking this up, we could literally make this like a real corporation. Like a real corporation. So we're gonna split up to like myself, we're gonna split up to the editor, we're gonna split up to the guide maker, and then eventually like the more this corporation cooks up, it could be like something that transcends just one space of like this content creator is covering this game. It could be a whole ass entity that will bring forward gacha content that is away from rage baiting, right? Away from rage baiting, away from war, away from drama, away from like the common game. Like, it's just like pure quality guide content that anyone could just click in for whatever game they want to play, and that will be that. So that is essentially sort of like it's a very, very big plan that I really just thought of it myself, and I will see whether it's gonna be taking us. I will see when it's actually gonna bring the VTuber model to life, because I think this is gonna take like a long time. So before we get a VTuber model, I think for now I'll probably use something like this. Wait, where is? Whoa. So for now, MrPokke is still here as a standing, but one day we will get that real VTuber model, and then that will sort of be like the future of what I will try to create in 2026, because I kind of want to like put my energy into something that challenges out of what I've been doing every day, because I feel like if I don't try these out, it will just be the same thing over and over again. Not that I'm complaining. I feel like live night long, streaming is such a hard job, you know, like, oh my god, bro, being a content creator, being a streamer, oh my god, it's the most difficult job in the world. I kind of want to just try to do this and see if this can become something. Because honestly, MrPokke was like a very, very, very good first step. Like, we literally just grew MrPokke with basically like out of nothing. And it just kind of came up. So if this thing actually managed to cook, I think I'll be very happy. So that is essentially sort of like the big update I want. I think we can send all that to the clip channel. So bada bing, bada boom, bada bap. Okay. Would it be a boba model be better? Okay. Angel to Veggie. That is an excellent question. Now, I have another excellent answer for your excellent question. When was the last time you played a gacha game where there was no Aboba? And there it is, right? So because we are playing gacha games at the end of the day, you kind of guys gotta admit, right? Abobas at the end, it is like the cornerstone, right? It is the cornerstone for everything that ties into a gacha game. Because respectively, if that's not the case, then why aren't we all playing Love in Deep Space, right? So Lazy Doro. Okay, wait. Lazy Doro. That's an excellent question, right? So another reason why I wanted to do this as like the Pokke Corp thing is because I want to. It's like creating a project that would, what's the word? Leverage. Yes, it would leverage the amount of effort, because it won't just be myself, one guy. For example, MrPokke is one guy, right? MrPokke is basically one guy overworking with like 90% EU, and sometimes it helps out a little bit. That is like enough, right? So I want to try this out to the point where I can essentially bring this ideology together, where I'm not really divesting like it's the one guy scenario. It will be like a group of guys, and everybody will basically take part in a fair exchange. Because I saw a couple of like patterns for the past 1 year where rage baiting seems to be a good way to drive up what the gacha game is, and I think it could be better than that. Alright, like rage baiting and like tribalism and everything. It's fine. I think it has its own place. I think dramas are always very, very juicy, but I hope to essentially try to make a place where people can feel happier playing gacha games. I'm gonna cry, guys. Yeah, it's like, why be upset playing X game or Y game? You get what I'm saying? So I wish to kind of like return to a time where like back in like 2023 or even 2022, right? Where like people are like genuinely just happy playing gacha games. And I feel that a channel dedicated to this kind of like guide content, and it's not just me, it will be a foundation of where like conversations and like ideas, discussion, the community, it will actually be revolving around the game itself. And I think that will be good for like pretty much everyone, right? That because if you go into like gacha Twitter or like gacha Reddit or okay, you know what I'm saying, right? Like there's just a lot of tension and a lot of like unnecessary stress. Like, a little bit I see then, stress. When back last time, right? Maybe it's because like, we were clueless last time, because I didn't play Genshin last time, right? But like, it was a lot more straightforward, just playing gacha games. And you discuss about like whether or not this was meta, right? This was tier 0, this was tier 0.5. How do you make this unit good? It's a little bit reminiscent of like, back in Counter-Strike. I think the reason why I think Counter-Strike it will never be like forgotten is because as toxic as a PvP gacha game is, there will not be a scenario where you will see like Counter-Strike versus like another gacha game or like gacha tribalism, because like everybody is actually playing the game. The most amount of toxicity you'll see is basically like PvP rankings. Then there'll be like guild wars, and then there'll be like which like Milk versus Scarlet, right? So like those will be the kind of like PvP and toxicity in a PvP gacha games. But at the end of the day, we're all still playing and engaging the game itself, which I think is just way better than like, oh my god, what was it? What's the tweet again? That was the oh right. Genshin Impact just locked. I don't know what it was, but like it was something like Genshin Impact locked XXX over this. How do you feel about this? It's like this thing literally just happened like I think like last week, and it's like a little bit silly, right? Like I would rather be toxic and other people cannot G-Buys or like they're running it now and like actually playing PvP in a gacha game, than instead of like, oh my god, how do you feel about? Okay, so like if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying, right? So that is pretty much what I want to try to do in 2026, and we will sort of see where that is gonna be going, guys. Where that is gonna be going. You have coomed your last coom, my man.